Imagine spending months collecting notes only to wake up one day and find everything reduced to ashes. Now imagine this happening to millions of books and manuscripts, wiping out centuries of knowledge in a single moment. This is exactly what happened to Nalanda University, one of the greatest centers of learning in history. I am Akhil Rajratnam, and today we will be exploring the remarkable history of Nalanda University. Now let's see what is actually the current context of this particular Nalanda University. Recently there was a news that Nalanda University has been revived with a new campus. It is in Rajgir in Bihar. It is in Rajgir in Bihar. So basically Nalanda University will be offering courses like historical studies will be there, Buddhist studies will be there, religious studies will be there, and even part of literature will be there, history will be there. So all these things will be there what a normal university will be offering. So this is actually the current context of Nalanda University. Now let's see what is the relevance from the UPSC point of view. What all things can be asked for your examination. Mostly we'll be covering regarding the prelims perspectively, but this is a very important topic for your mains also. Okay, so in prelims it will be coming under the art and culture section. It will be coming under the art and culture. Art and culture, obviously mains also it will be coming under the GS paper only, Indian heritage. Okay, so that is actually the relevance, UPSC point of relevance of this particular topic. So now in this particular session, we will be discussing what is Nalanda University, how it was established, what is actually the cultural significance of this Nalanda University, how it was, what is actually the design features of Nalanda University, how the decline of Nalanda University happened, and what is the, how this particular new university was also established. So this is the topics which we will be covering in this particular session. Okay, all right. So first let's start with the establishment of the Nalanda University itself. Who established Nalanda University? Okay, so here you can see that it was established by the Gupta Emperor Kumaragupta in 5th century. It was established by Gupta Emperor Kumaragupta I in 5th century. So if you take this Gupta Empire is often regarded as the golden age of India. It is often regarded as the golden age of India. If something is regarded as the golden age of India, then it will be valuable, right? So why it is known as the golden age of India, or why it is valuable? For example, the architecture of Gupta, arts of Gupta, literature of Gupta, everything flourished during this particular period. For example, let's take the temple architecture. Temple architecture in the northern part of India actually started during the Gupta Empire only. They only revolutionized temple architecture in northern part of India, mostly the Nagara style of temple architecture. Or for example, let's take literature. Even poets like Kalidasa lived during Gupta period only, and also mathematicians like Aryabhatta, they also lived during this Gupta period only. So everything flourished during this Gupta period. So that is the significance of Gupta period, and that is why it is known as the golden age of India. This was asked for the UPSC examination, for the mains examination once. Okay, so that is regarding the foundation of Gupta Empire. Next one, where this Nalanda University, I am talking about the old Nalanda University. The present Nalanda University is also located in Bihar only. So old Nalanda University, it is in Bihar. Bihar again in the place known as Rajgir only. In Rajgir only. So this location is also very much important. Location is very much important. Why? Because earlier we had a very important dynasty known as Magadha. If you go to the ancient history, you can see it like Magadha was the most prominent dynasty in the ancient period. So Magadha was actually having Rajgir as their capital. So when Nalanda University is established here, it is not just a educational institution, it is actually having strategic importance is also there for Nalanda University. So that is regarding this particular location. Rajgir. Many people from different parts of the world were coming to this Rajgir and they were actually studying here. So that also contributes to the strategic importance of this Nalanda University. Next one, it flourished during the reign of Gupta. Obviously, it was started by Kumaragupta only. The foundation of this university was started by Kumaragupta only, but it was not just Kumaragupta who contributed to Nalanda University. Many other Gupta emperors also contributed. For example, Skandagupta, another famous ruler who contributed was Skandagupta. Even though Kumaragupta started the university, Skandagupta only expanded this university. Skandagupta expanded the university, more libraries were brought in. So like that, the area was also increased during Skandagupta's time period. But after Guptas also, many emperors contributed in this Nalanda University. For example, it's in Bihar region only. So the prominent dynasty who ruled in Bihar region was Pala dynasty. It was Pala dynasty. Two important rulers were there in Pala dynasty. One is Dharmapala. And another one is Devapala. Dharmapala and Devapala. They further expanded this Nalanda University, mainly the libraries. Mainly, you know, right, in the introduction itself, I have told it like millions of manuscripts were there in Nalanda University. So they only expanded this Nalanda University, and basically this Pala rulers were Buddhist. Gupta rulers mostly we can see it's actually a mix of Buddhism is there, and also the later Gupta kings were Hindu kings only. So Pala dynasty, they were predominantly Buddhist only. So Nalanda became a cultural center which is actually focusing on Buddhist studies. But don't think that it was Buddhism alone, but still Pala dynasty was Buddhism. So indirectly they wanted to promote this Buddhism through Nalanda University. Many of the scholars who came to this Nalanda University, they wanted to study regarding Buddhism. Okay, so this is regarding the establishment of Nalanda University. Now we'll see what are the design features in Nalanda University. So it is actually characterized by the use of red bricks. This red bricks was one of the prominent design features during the Gupta period. Okay, for example, many of the temples during this period were actually found in were made in this red bricks only. For example, Bidurgaon temple. It is considered to be one of the oldest temples in India. So that was made using red bricks only. So like that, the Gupta design features are incorporated in this Nalanda University also. Another thing is, like I already mentioned it, like during Pala period only, this Buddhism became prominent in Nalanda University. So obviously, if Buddhists are coming, they will be they will be constructing stupas only, right? Stupa is one of the important design feature of this Buddhism. So that also we can see there, and also we have lot of libraries are also there in this Nalanda University. For example, Ratna Sagara means, from the name itself we can identify ocean of jewels. Ratna Sagara means ocean of jewels. So that is Ratna Sagara. And also we have Ratna Dadi means sea of jewels. Ratna Sagara means ocean of jewels. Ratna Dadi means sea of jewels. Okay, so these are the two important libraries in Nalanda University. Okay, and also there is actually a blend of local as well as regional as well as international styles also we can see in this Nalanda University. For example, many scholars from different parts of the world, they actually came to Nalanda University. So obviously their style also influenced the Nalanda. Okay, so we can actually see a blend of different styles of architecture in Nalanda University. Even Gupta Empire, they were predominantly using bricks only. Pala Empire, they use even wood also we can see during Pala Empire. For example, the roofs that was also different in this Pala Empire. So like that, a different blend of different blend of architectural styles we can actually see in this Nalanda University. All right. Now let's see what is the cultural significance of this Nalanda University. Nalanda offered a diverse range of subjects. I already mentioned it, like during Pala period, during the Pala dynasty, Nalanda was mostly focusing on the Buddhist studies only. So obviously in this diverse range of subject, Buddhism will also come. Buddhism was one of the important things. For example, like many Buddhist monks from different parts of the world, they were actually coming to Nalanda University to study Buddhism only. In Buddhist studies itself, we have two different styles of Buddhist studies. One is Mahayana Buddhism and another one is Hinayana Buddhism, Mahayana as well as Hinayana Buddhism. Okay, so in this itself, this Nalanda University focused more on Mahayana. Most of the scholars who came to Nalanda University, they were Mahayana Buddhist only. So obviously that was also there. But don't think that it was a Buddhist university. It was not a Buddhist university. Many other religions were also, or subjects from many other religions were also taught in Nalanda University. For example, Hinduism. In Hinduism, we have Vedic studies. We had Vedic studies. So Vedic learning was also there in Nalanda University. And also we had Jainism was also prominent during this particular period. So Jain scriptures were also taught in Nalanda University. So that is regarding the diversity in religious subjects. But not just religious subject, we had different other subjects were also there. For example, medicine was there. Medicine itself, veterinary science was also there. That is also recorded from many different sources from different scholars. That was there. Grammar was there, logic was there, literature was there. So different diverse subjects were taught in Nalanda University. Next one, it is regarded as the world's first residential university. Regarded as the world's first residential university. Regarded as only. Okay. So what is a residential university? Residential means people will be coming to that particular university and they'll be staying in that university and teaching and obviously studying also. So that is residential university. Why it is considered as world's first residential university? Because we had different other universities were also there, libraries were also there, but still here the location is also very important. Strategic location of this Rajgir is also very important. They had different diplomatic ties also with whichever dynasty ruled in that area. They had diplomatic ties with other countries also. So scholars from that area, they used to stay here. For example, Huingsang used to stay here. Other Chinese scholars also used to stay here. And when Nalanda was flooded with intellectuals, many intellectuals, notable scholars such as Nagarjuna, Aryabhatta and Dharmakirti were part of Nalanda University. They were teaching in Nalanda as well as they were studying in Nalanda. Nagarjuna is a very popular Mahayana Buddhist. Nagarjuna is a very popular Mahayana Buddhist. He was the founder of this Madhyamik philosophy in Buddhism. He was the founder of Madhyamik philosophy in Buddhism. Madhyamik philosophy in Buddhism, Nagarjuna. And Aryabhatta, obviously Aryabhatta is a very famous mathematician. He is said to have contributed regarding zero and many important algebra, geometry, like that. Many things were associated with, Aryabhatta was associated with many things in mathematics which we know. Dharmakirti, again, Dharmakirti was a grammar, he was a person who researches in grammar. He was also a Mahayana Buddhist. So like that, different scholars were teaching as well as studying in Nalanda University. And one of the famous personalities who visited this Nalanda University is Huingsang. Huingsang is a person who traveled to different dynasties in India. For example, during Harsha's period and all, Huingsang was in India. He also came to India, also came to Nalanda University to study Buddhism only. Okay. So from Huingsang's memoirs only, we got many information regarding how teaching was done in Nalanda. From Huingsang's, there is actually a very popular memoir by Huingsang, Tang Records. In this Tang Records, Huingsang is saying that Nalanda had almost 10,000 plus students and almost 3,000 plus teachers were there in Nalanda University. So from Huingsang record, we got many valuable information regarding Nalanda University, and also many other universities were also there during this particular. For example, Library of Alexandria. Library of Alexandria was even much bigger university than Nalanda University, but it didn't have this kind of diversity in subject, and also it was not a residential university. So in all the senses, Nalanda University is very much unique. Okay, all right. Next, we'll see what is actually the speciality of the learning which has been used in Nalanda University. One is dialogical learning. Dialogical learning. Okay. What we are actually doing now, I am teaching and you are actually standing opposite the screen only, right? And also different people will be studying from different parts. In Nalanda, it was not like that. Nalanda, the teaching was based on dialogues only. Even students will be interacting. For example, group discussions will be there and they will be deriving things regarding the subjects also. So that is also something which makes Nalanda unique. You have to understand that this happened very long back, not not in these days of group discussion, but long back itself, this kind of learning was there in India. So that is also one very important thing which is making Nalanda very much unique. So they emphasized on the dialogue and discussion, and it is known as Vada Vidya. It is known as Vada Vidya, or also known as science of debate. Science of debate, Vada Vidya or science of debate. Science of debate, I already mentioned it, like there are many subjects which have been taught in Nalanda University. For example, medicine was taught. Medicine we cannot actually teach through books alone, right? For example, medicine, surgery will be coming. Surgery, how will we teach with books alone? So for that, practical components were also there. Surgery was practical, surgery were also done in Nalanda University. Even veterinary surgery was also done in Nalanda University. So these kind of things make Nalanda very much unique from other universities, and also Nalanda inspired many other universities also. For example, one other university which was created later and which was heavily influenced by Nalanda University is Vikramshila and Audandapuri. So many universities were inspired by the teaching which was adopted in Nalanda. Okay. So next we will see what is actually the reason behind the decline and decline of this Nalanda University. See, this university faced significant attacks from different people, different rulers, especially the Islamic rulers, and one of the famous or maybe infamous rulers who attacked this Nalanda University was Bakhtiyar Khilji. But don't think that it was only because of Bakhtiyar Khilji Nalanda University was declined. Bakhtiyar Khilji's invasion is one of the reasons which led to the decline of Nalanda University. Bakhtiyar Khilji was a Turkish invader. He was a Turkish invader. You might have studied regarding the Khilji dynasty, and he was part of the Deccan Sultanate. So Deccan Sultanate, many Islamic rulers from the Deccan Sultanate, they invaded Nalanda University, and Bakhtiyar Khilji was one of the prominent. Many records were available regarding Bakhtiyar Khilji's invasion of Nalanda University. But it was not just the invasion of Bakhtiyar Khilji. Nalanda got patronage mainly from the Pala Empire only. So what happened was, like, there were many issues happening in Pala Empire. Internal strifes were there, and also other invasions were also there. This weakened this Pala Empire. So gradually Pala stopped giving, or maybe Pala was not in a situation to give patronage to Nalanda University. So that also led to the decline of Nalanda University. Other important factors, emergence of other religions. Islamic rule, I have already mentioned it, like Bakhtiyar Khilji, Delhi Sultanate, and also other Islamic rulers who invaded this Nalanda. And also we have the rise of Hinduism is also there. So when Pala was out of power, another important dynasty who replaced Pala was Sena dynasty. Another important dynasty who replaced Pala was Sena dynasty. So obviously when Sena dynasty or Hinduism became prominent, the patronage to Buddhism slowly declined, and obviously it affected Nalanda also. Again, during Bakhtiyar Khilji's invasion and all, Nalanda was completely in ruins, and he set fire to Nalanda. And it is believed that this it took around 3 months for this fire to settle down. That is what it is told. We don't have any evidence regarding that, but still this is what it is believed regarding Nalanda University. And also later, during the British period only, these ruins of Nalanda were rediscovered. It was rediscovered in 1812 by Francis Buchanan Hamilton and Alexander Cunningham. Alexander Cunningham was a personality who was famous with Archaeological Survey of India. So this is how Nalanda ruins were rediscovered. So after that, what happened was, like, in 2010, the Indian government in association with different other Asian countries, they wanted to re-establish this Nalanda University, and that is what was inaugurated recently. Okay, so this is the context regarding, or this is actually the history of Nalanda University. So hope you understood what is Nalanda University, what is the history of Nalanda University, what is actually the context. All these things hope you have understood. So that's it. Thank you. When we think about Egypt, the first thing that comes to our mind is the Great Pyramids. But do you know that India is also having something similar? We have the Ahom burial mounds in Assam, known as the Moidams. My name is Akhil Rajratnam, and in today's session we will be discussing regarding the Moidams. Now let's see what is actually the current context of this particular topic. So current context is like India hosted the 46th session of UNESCO World Heritage Committee in 2014. The session actually happened from July 21st to 31st in New Delhi. So in that we got a 43rd UNESCO World Heritage Site inscribed into that list, and that is Moidams of Assam. Moidams of Assam was inscribed into the prestigious UNESCO World Heritage Site as a 43rd UNESCO World Heritage Site. So in this session we will be discussing what is UNESCO. I will give a brief introduction to what is UNESCO, what is World Heritage Sites, what are World Heritage Sites, what is the classification of this World Heritage Site, that will be there, and what actually happened during this 43rd, that is current affairs only, what actually happened during this 46th UNESCO World Heritage Committee session. And after that I will move on to Moidams. Moidams is little more into the art and culture and historical topic only. To know regarding Moidams, we need to know regarding Ahom dynasty. So that I will take it in the later part of this session. So regarding the relevance of this particular topic for UPSC, it is important from both mains perspective as well as prelims perspective, but in the session mostly we will be focusing on the prelims area only. From prelims area it is coming in the art and culture section, and for mains it is in the GS paper 1 Indian heritage. Okay. Alright, so let's move on to what UNESCO and what UNESCO World Heritage Committee is. Alright, so what are UNESCO World Heritage Sites? So before that, let me tell you regarding UNESCO. What is UNESCO? So UNESCO, we can expand this, then you will get an idea regarding what UNESCO is. The first two letters, that is UN. UN means United Nations only. United Nations is a group of member countries. So under UN we have different organizations are there. For example, specialized agencies are there. One is UNESCO, other one you might have heard regarding UNICEF. UNICEF is standing for Children's Rights. Other than that we have WHO from the health perspective regarding overseeing the health issues in the world. So that is the duty of WHO. Like the different organizations are there, specialized agencies are there under United Nations, and UNESCO is one among them. So what is the duty of UNESCO? So let's expand this UNESCO. At that time you will understand. UNESCO, UN, like we already know. So E stands for education. So UNESCO is having doing many things in the education. For example, the Global Educational Monitoring Report is showing the status of this education in the world. So that is being released by UNESCO. Other than that, S stands for scientific. You might have heard regarding the Man and Biosphere program, which is integrating both indigenous communities as well as the biodiversity of that particular area. So that we can include in this scientific category. And other than that, next one is C. C stands for cultural. Some historical perspective, things with some historical perspective, that will come under cultural. If this UNESCO World Heritage Site also, maybe we can include in the cultural sites, we can include in this C itself. Okay. So what is UNESCO World Heritage? So now we know what is UNESCO. Now let's see what is UNESCO World Heritage Site. So UNESCO World Heritage Sites are landmark or areas recognized by UNESCO for their, it can either be cultural, it can either be historical, it can either be scientific, or it can either be natural. So this significance should be there for this particular site. Then only we can add it in the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Okay. So UNESCO is a international body. Many countries are having membership in UNESCO. So when countries are having membership in UNESCO means to make something happen, we need an agreement. We need a treaty, or we need a convention, right? So this is actually the convention, which is the foundation of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay. So convention concerning the protection of world cultural and natural site, it was signed in 1972. So obviously India is also a party to this convention. So Indian sites are also included in this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay. So now let's see what is actually the classification of UNESCO World Heritage Site. UNESCO World Heritage Site we can actually classify into cultural site, natural site and mixed site. Cultural, like from the name itself, we will be able to understand what is cultural site. It should be having some cultural relevance, historical relevance, archaeological relevance, that should be there for this cultural site. Okay, so that is cultural site. For example, let's take Taj Mahal. Let's take Taj Mahal. What is the cultural significance of Taj Mahal? Architecture of Taj Mahal, Indo-Islamic architecture of Taj Mahal. That is the significance of this. That is why Taj Mahal has been added as a cultural site in UNESCO. Other than that, we can take Ajanta caves. Let's take Ajanta caves. Ajanta cave in Sambhajinagar. Recently it was renamed. Aurangabad was renamed to Sambhajinagar. So Ajanta cave in Sambhajinagar. It is known for the mural paintings. Oldest mural paintings in Indian subcontinent we can actually see in Ajanta cave. So everything is related to cultural aspect only, right? Other than that, we have natural site. If you go to the international sites also, we have different examples. For example, the Great Pyramids. Great Pyramid, we can include it in the cultural site. Natural site, coming to the natural site, Kaziranga National Park. Kaziranga National Park in Assam. Kaziranga National Park in Assam. It is having unique. What is the uniqueness of Kaziranga National Park? One-horned rhinoceros. One-horned rhinoceros. That is the uniqueness of this Kaziranga National Park. Other than that, we have Manas Wildlife Sanctuary. Again in Assam, we have Manas Wildlife. So it should be having some unique geographical or geological importance should be there, or significance should be there. So that is natural sites. Other than that, we have mixed site. Obviously, from the name itself, it is clear that what is a mixed site. It is actually the mix of both cultural as well as natural sites. Cultural site as well, it should be mix of cultural as well as natural sites. For example, let's take the only cultural site in India, Kanchenjunga National Park. Kanchenjunga National Park is one of the highest peaks in the world itself. So that kind of geography we can actually see in this Kanchenjunga National Park, and also it is having some cultural background of Buddhism. So cultural background of Buddhism plus this geographical significance. So that makes it very important, and that is the only mixed site in India. Okay, all right. So now I hope you got an idea regarding what is UNESCO and what are the classification of UNESCO World Heritage Sites in India. So one more thing is there, that is tentative list. That is tentative list. Tentative list means, for example, if UNESCO want to add something to the list, it won't be adding directly. When the country is nominating, it won't be adding directly. It will keep it in a waiting list. We can call it like a waiting list. So it will keep it in this waiting list. At least it should be there for 1 year. After that, they will be considering for to be added in the UNESCO World Heritage main list. Okay. For example, this Moidams, it was in the tentative list since 2014 itself, and now after 10 years only, 2024 only, it has been added to the main list. Okay. So that is tentative list. All right. Now let's see what actually happened during the 46th session of UNESCO World Heritage Committee. What is the significance? India hosted the session. Not just India hosted session, India hosted the session for the first time. We had 45 sessions before this, but this is actually the first time India get to host this UNESCO World Heritage Committee session. So that is the significance. Other than that, many important decisions were taken place in this, took place in this UNESCO World Heritage Committee. For example, 26 sites were added. 26 more sites were added to UNESCO World Heritage list. So that actually happened. This is the count is little low this time. Last year it was 40 plus sites were added, but this year 26 sites were only added, and last year we got 2 sites. This year we got only 1 site, but still Moidam was very important. So Moidams were inscribed as India's 43rd heritage site. Regarding Moidams, we will discuss in the later slides. Okay, so with 46 sites, the global position of India is 6th. We are in the 6th position globally. 6th position globally, and the list is actually topped by Italy. It's topped by Italy. After that, China. 60 sites in Italy and 59 sites in China. So this is the top. This is the top position in this UNESCO World Heritage list. Okay. All right. And next session, it will be happening in the 47th session, that will be happening in Bulgaria. Next, let's discuss regarding Ahom dynasty. before moving on to Moidams, we need to know regarding the Ahom dynasty. Then only we will be able to understand what is the significance of Moidams. Okay, so this Ahom dynasty ruled Assam from 1288. Ahom dynasty ruled Assam from 1288 to 1826. You can see that we almost have a 600 years of history. We almost have a 600 years of history for Ahom dynasty, and this dynasty was founded by Sukappa. Dynasty was founded by Sukappa. Sukappa was a this Ahom rulers, they are actually Thai descendants. Thai descendants. Thai people, they are actually coming from the Chinese area, Yunnan province in China, but they settled over time. They actually settled in many parts of the world. For example, in the Southeast Asia, Thailand, Myanmar, Vietnam, Cambodia, and also in this Assam region also they came. So they established this Ahom dynasty in this present day Assam region. So Ahom resisted several invasions. They resisted several invasions. They had a history of 600 years. So obviously many dynasties were there in different parts of the this Indian subcontinent. For example, we had Delhi Sultanate. In the early 13th century, we had Delhi Sultanate. After that, in the late period, we have the Mughals, and after that, coming to this area, we have the Burmese as well as the Britishers were also there. So they had to face invasions from different dynasties, and they successfully resisted. They successfully resisted. One of the most famous battle which was fought between the Mughals, and the Ahom dynasty was Battle of Saraighat. You know how powerful this Mughal dynasty is, especially during the Jahangir's period, Aurangzeb's period and all. Both periods Ahoms had battles. Battle of Saraighat 1 is there, Battle of Saraighat 2 is also there. So during the Battle of Saraighat, this Ahoms were able to successfully resist this Mughal dynasty. So that is their significance. Ahoms had very intelligent, very powerful generals, kings as well as generals. So that is one reason. And another thing is like the Ahoms brought a unique blend of cultures. I have already mentioned it, like Ahoms were coming from the Thai region only. Ahoms are Thai descendants. So they came to this Assam region. Assam had the local influences there, and they actually blended the Thai culture with the local Assamese culture. We will take some examples of how it was blended. For example, the Bihu festival. The Bihu festival, Bihu, you know, right, the most popular festival in Assam. So Bihu festival was molded in this particular shape, how we are actually seeing it now. That was actually done during Ahom's period only. And the script of Assam, which you are seeing now, that also has influence of this Ahom dynasty. Even Ahom architecture was also very brilliant only. At that time, mostly people were this other dynasty, for example, Delhi Sultanate, Mughals, they were using red sandstone and other stones only. But Ahom, they brought in this brick architecture. It was not brought by Ahom. It is not something which is unique to Ahoms, but still in this area, in this northeastern part of this India, brick architecture became prominent during the Ahom dynasty only. Okay, one of the important architectural marvels of this Ahom dynasty is Rengakhar. You might have known regarding the Colosseum where wrestling matches will be there happening, or maybe other things will be there. So the Rengakhar is also something like that. Bullfighting will be happening. Bullfighting, wrestling, the kings will be coming and they will be watching this. So that is Rengakhar. Okay, so that is there. And after 600 years of rule, what happened was like Ahom dynasty itself had many internal strifes were there. And also so it led to a political gap in this Ahom dynasty. So Burmese invasion happened. Again, this Ahom dynasty was split. And finally what happened in 1826, it fell for Burmese as well as the Ahom dynasty fell for the Britishers only, and it was the Treaty of Yandabu. In the Treaty of Yandabu, Ahom dynasty's influence was ended. Okay, 1826. So that is regarding the brief history of Ahom dynasty. So regarding the architectural history of Ahom dynasty, mostly they were using bricks only, and also they brought in something very much unique, that is Moidams. that is Moidams. Okay, so Moidams are basically the royal burial mounds of Ahom kings, royal burial mounds of the Ahom dynasty. Okay, so we have different Moidams in different parts of this Assam region itself. But what was included in UNESCO is the Charaideo Moidams. Charaideo was the capital of Ahoms. It is in the northeastern part of Assam. Assam itself is in the northeastern part of the India, but Charaideo is in the northeastern part of Assam. So that was the capital of Ahoms. This Moidams are royal mounds of Ahom dynasty only, but it was not just for the kings alone, not just for the this princely class alone. Even the generals will be there. Like that, many people will be included in the royal burial mounds. So what happened was, like, in Charaideo only we can see the most significant Moidams. Almost 150 Moidams we can actually see in Charaideo, and they are known as the pyramids of Assam. What is the significance of pyramids? In Egypt, when we think about Egypt itself, pyramids will be coming to our mind. So pyramids are also burial mounds of the kings only, right? So there what they usually do is, like, they'll mummify the kings. But here we haven't got any evidence regarding mummification. Maybe they might have done, they might not have done. So other than that, what is actually the similarity between the pyramids in Egypt as well as this pyramids of Assam? See, during when this burial mounds of kings were made in Egypt, what they'll be doing is, like, they'll be putting their valuables. For example, the sword which was being used by the king, the jewels which are being used by the king. So all these things, maybe they believed in afterlife. So they want to, they'll be putting the things which will be needed for the king in the afterlife. All these things will be included in the mummies also. So here the Ahoms also followed the same concept. So that is why we call it as the pyramids of Assam. Pyramids of Assam. You know what is a structure of pyramid, right? It will be like this only. It will be like this only. This is pyramids, right? So Ahoms, the Moidams had a different architecture. It will be mostly in the semi-spherical shape only. Mostly, I am not saying that all the Moidams are like that, but mostly it will be in this hemispherical shape only. So it will be having an underground vault will be there. Mostly it will be a brick structure only. This will be a brick structure only. So inside this only the royal person will be buried. The main person will be buried here, and other than that, they will be having a outer chamber will be there. Inside that outer chamber will be there, and around that an outer brick wall will be there. So this is the architecture of Moidams which we can see in most of the Moidams. I am not saying every Moidam, but most of the Moidams. And here also depends on the rank of the person. For example, for kings and all, the Moidams will be very much grand. For the other person who are subordinate to the kings and all, Moidams won't be that much grand. So that hierarchy is also there in the Moidams. Okay, all right. So they reflect the unique funerary traditions and cultural heritage of this Moidams. Why? Because, you know, this Moidams are not just this kind of burial mounds. They are also considered as religious places. They used to worship these ancestors. So obviously, these Moidams are also like temples. Like temples, they go to Moidams and pray. So that is also there, and also unique funerary tradition. In Egypt it was there, but still in India we don't usually see this evidence. During Harappan period and all it was there, but still other than that, this is something very much unique. So that is the unique funerary tradition here. And also Ahoms believed in, like I have already mentioned, Ahoms believed in life, death and afterlife. So that is why sometimes it is not a confirmed thing, but still in Egypt and all, the wife of the king will also be buried. The pets of the kings also will be buried along with the king. So that kind of concept was also there, but still we don't have any evidence regarding the same done in during the Ahom dynasty. But still we had a similar concept of this Moidams. Okay, all right. So that's it regarding Moidam. Hope you have got an idea regarding what UNESCO is, what UNESCO World Heritage Site is, what is the classification of UNESCO is regarding the Ahom dynasty, and what are the Moidams and what actually happened in the 46th session of UNESCO World Heritage Committee. Okay, all right. So that's it for today's session. Thank you.